Okay. What did the introverted snail wish for more than anything? That he could come out of his shell? You can't gaslight me into thinking I'm not hilarious. You can come up with anything better. Do you want to fish or not? Nah, I don't think it's my place. I'm Gilgadane. I've set out to prove that I'm worthy of being amongst the top tier of people that play an old medieval point and click game. I have a grind ahead of me, and right now I need to strike gold. I have one goal, the max infernal cape. This is my infernal dream. Well, look who it is! Welcome back to Infernal Dream. Last week we hit our first major milestone of the series, Falador Elite Diaries. That's the first major puzzle piece of the Inferno setup, and these are the pieces of my setup as it stands. And looking at it, I'm not too far off being able to start sending Inferno runs, but I still need to clear off my checklist before we can start. First of all, let's just combine these. And there we have it, the Ancient Scepter, huge part of our Inferno setup now. This saves me a lot of money on buying a Kodai wand or a Nightmare Staff, and it looks hella dinky. That looks so... It's cool though, it's cool, I can't deny that. So I now hold in my inventory nearly everything I need to start taking on the Inferno, but here's what we're missing. I need a Dexterous Prayer Scroll for Rigger, I need the crystal top and bottom and potentially the helmet, a Justy Helm, a Bofa, and then I need a Pegasian Boots and a Ring of Suffering. We're now on a mission to earn as much money as we can and get the last remaining items on our checklist. At the start of this episode, my bank value overall is 340 mil. Let's see what we can scrounge up. Making money isn't going to be my only source for these items. For most of them, sure, I need a lot of cash in hand, but for the crystal set, it will be far cheaper to just go get them myself, and that means running the Corrupted Gauntlet. We'll be checking in on that later. But first, easy game. Fucking yes! Oh, yes! And now we can teleport to sleep. Hey, that's such a good teleport. Oh my god! Let's go! No way! In an attempt to feel something, I ran a load for Sarni's Nightmare, and by a load I mean 21kc, and we actually hit some drops. I got a Sleepy Tablet and a Nightmare Staff. Now you'll have to forgive the overblown reaction for what is the worst drop on the uniques table. I don't get to feel dopamine like this very often. I'm probably going to sell the Nightmare Staff for Crystal Top and Legs, but I did take the opportunity to do a little bit of mage training at Monkeys, since it's great for bursting. Fighting for Sarni's Nightmare has taught me loads that I think is going to help going forward. A lesson I learned a long time ago but really had to put into practice here is being able to resist spam clicking. The amount of times I stumbled into black holes because of spam clicking is embarrassing, and all my best runs I clicked way less and focused more on each click. As with any boss, you eventually learn the rhythm. In OSRS, overhead prayers are a huge part of any boss encounter, and the nightmare gives you tons of time to switch prayers when the sound cue goes out. So feeling that timing is a huge boost, particularly in phase 4 when the boss starts turning your prayers off. I always looked at setups on the wiki and saw max setups taking barely any heals or prayer pots. Now some of this does come down to gear and how quickly you kill the boss, but it also relies a lot on how comfortable you are at the boss. The more I do for Sarnies, the less damage I take overall, to the point where on one inventory I could easily do 2 kills a trip if I really pushed myself, even with my gear. I also learned that it's impossible to beat the nightmare without liking and subscribing to the Gilgadane YouTube channel, so you should really do that if you want success like me. Welcome back to Who Wants to Be a Skillionaire, the show where I spin a wheel and must gain 1 million XP in whatever skill it lands on. Last week we got cooking and it was real nice and easy to knock that out real quick. It took me like maximum an hour. Let's see what we get this week. Hunter! Damn, I was begging for fletching. Alright, we can do that. Let's go do some chins. Hunter is a good bit slower than cooking, so I'm doing 2 things here. Doing some semi-active chin chompers and some more active drift net fishing. First of all, catching carnivorous chin chompers just north of Prifdynus. There's a few ways that you can speed this up, but they require being more active, things like tick manipulation, which I'm not too familiar with, and also this is just something I was doing in my breaks at work or when I was chilling at night. Pretty simple method, and I was gaining up to 100k XP per hour if I was a little more focused. Drift net fishing is actually one of my favourite skilling activities in the game, believe it or not. It's not terribly engaging, but you gain a lot of hunter and fishing XP. In fact, in the process of this, I gained well over 500k fishing XP, so I effectively got some free XP this time around. Drift net fishing is accessible just off the coast of Fossil Island. Here you set up 2 drift nets and have to chase fish into it. For each fish caught, you gain around 100 hunter XP and 77-ish fishing XP. Using this method, I was seeing rates of around 100 to 110k hunter XP, alongside 77k fishing XP per hour. Drift nets do cost a little bit, but that cost is offset by the fish that you catch if you can be bothered to bank them. Banking does cost a few ticks, but it's not super costly in terms of XP efficiency, and I'd rather not lose too much money today. I had a few really busy weeks, so this Skillionaire ended up delaying the episode a little bit. In the future I'll probably just split it up across episodes if it does take ages, or if I get a super slow skill. Looking at you, Slayer. Now I believe I mentioned that I was going to make some money.
Out here
Prifdynus.
smoking big doinks and
Prifdynus.
big old doinks. Gang.
Oh, I hate this. I'm not doing this. I hate this so much. It's such dog content. Okay, let's talk. I love gaming. I loved competitive gaming. But after a long time of playing competitive games, I had to quit them entirely. For various reasons, I'd end up tilted, and I'd start moulding, and I'd become just unpleasant to be around and play with, and it would ruin my day or sometimes my entire week. It's not a nice feeling to be so wound up, especially when it's just over a game. This is kind of why I play mainly single player games or MMOs. For the most part, particularly in OSRS, you are only really competing with yourself. Despite how janky it is, Runescape is a pretty fair game, all things considered. There's something about the corrupted Gauntlet though that just sets off my bullshit meter. And in the space of 10 minutes, I can go from being perfectly happy to being ready to fight the closest wall like I'm a 15-year-old who's just lost a game of COD. Or I guess, Fortnite? FIFA? What the f*** do kids do now? Anyway, point is, while I was trying the Gauntlet, I ended up, brimming with rage. I'm so sick of this actually, I hate this. I hate this so much. How do people do this? Such bullshit. Maybe it's something to do with the stress of the time limit, or doing really well in prep only to get eviscerated through prayers and die even though I'm playing well. I had to take a step back. And that's why this one took a little longer. Unfortunately, this is kind of a wall that I have to climb eventually, but at least for now I decided to just go for a walk, touch some grass. Oh, much better. I highly recommend doing the same if you ever find yourself raging like that. It helped me a lot. Maybe this is me molding still, but I really don't like the Gauntlet. It's probably my least favourite piece of content I've done in this whole game. The prep phase I find really boring, and frankly the boss just isn't that fun to fight. Maybe as I get better, I'll find the fun, and again maybe this is just me being salty and molding, but with every other piece of PvM, I've had a great time, even when I'm learning it and when I'm dying a lot. Anyway, I decided to just come back another time. We'll check in next episode, see if I've made any progress, or if I've pulled my hair out. I chose to do something a bit more fun for now though, to make myself feel a bit better about how good I am at this 2-decade-old game. Last time I mentioned that there were some things I was doing that would make an appearance soon, and now is soon. I've been learning the teams of Amascut in duos and trios. I've since gone back to doing solos, and now I'm pretty consistent at solo 180s to 190s. The chance of unique in here is only about 2%, but after 50kc I should see at least one. And I'd be jazzed even if it's a light bearer. The money is reasonably good, even if it's not as good as what I'd be making at forecast, but hopefully I can get lucky eventually and it will make it all worth it. Most of the drops are in the tens of mils, and if I hit the jackpot and get a Tumican Shadow, that's literally over 4 times my current bank value. I've gotten to the point where I can clear 190s reasonably consistently now, so I'm just stacking KC, waiting for that purple drop. I think for my level of gear right now though, things really start to slow down to a crawl once I hit 200s. Not much really changes between the levels apart from the sheer amount of health the bosses have and how much damage they do, so realistically I need a couple upgrades before I can take on higher levels. I do want to eventually push the 300s though for a higher purple rate, but for now I'm sticking to the 190s. Anyway, before the deadline for this video I scored 26kc and not a single purple. No jewels or pet either. I'm thinking we'll be staying here for quite a while, so we'll probably pick up here next time and we'll go more in depth about the whole deal with TOA and we'll hunt for a purple. That was so dumb! You know. There's 20kc. No pup. Oh, just one more 40. Come on, hit the 40! Hit the 40! Skip! Ah! I did it! Oh! Oh, I love that. Right, come on, mate. Let's go. This is the hard bit. Oh, I don't got it. Yes, I can do! Oh, yes! Let's actually go. I've got that 2 down. Back him. Don't make me take a dose. Oh. Beautiful, spec him out to finish him. Love it. Is that my... I think that's my Baba PB. Oh, let's go. Big hits, big hits, big hits. Big hits are the best. Oh, don't noodle. Stop noodling. Oh, for f***'s sake, man. I just want a purple. I just want a purple. It's not bad.
Gonna grind, gonna with you and maybe just let go.
After all my efforts, I've raised my bank value from 330 mil all the way up to 357 mil. So I guess this wasn't exactly a success, but it could be a lot worse. We could have lost the money. Even if we're just chipping away, we're still climbing. Next time I'm aiming to knock out as much tombs as I can and maybe get at least 1 KC at the Corrupted Gauntlet without turning my screen into a donut. We'll see though, no promises. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm having a great time making these videos. Even if they're not doing incredibly well on the views, please do not forget to like, subscribe, share these around. I'm having a great time and I'm hoping you are too. Thanks for making it right to the end. Remember to take some time away from the screens every now and then. It's proven that even a small amount of nature can do a world of good for our mental health. Take a walk around your local area or further afield and see what you find. There's plenty out there to explore, even if you can only afford a short amount of time, and trust me, speaking from experience, it really, really makes a difference.